Are you suffering from an identity crisis? Good question, huh? I know at one point in time in my life, I definitely was suffering from an identity crisis. I didn't know who I was. I would make decisions that were totally outside of my character or outside of a decision that made any logical sense on the path or the journey that I was already on. It's okay to have role models. It's okay to have people you look at and say, I like their lifestyle. I would really like to have that type of lifestyle. I'd like to be able to give to, my favorite philanthropy or just cause that I really, really believe in. It's okay. But you have to know who you are when you start to doing those type of things. You need to have a foundation of who you are within yourself. That way you won't find yourself off track like I did. And then the decisions that you make will be sound decisions. In this day and time, because we have so many things going on right now in the world, from our government trying to figure out who they are, where they're going, and how they're going to help us navigate through the pandemic and all the things that we're going through in this country. It's easy to want to look at people and look at things and become an imitator of people and want to imitate the things that we see other people have. That's when you get confused about your true identity. Don't become a follower. Become a finisher. I know that when I had my identity crisis, I started acting out in ways that didn't benefit me, my friends that were around me, my family, my family members, my business that I was involved in. Every decision I made and thought about making started leading to disasters. And thus one of the things I want to help you prevent as you start figuring out and understanding your identity. It reminds me of the song of, who was the girl name? Oh, Tamaya. There's a stranger in my house. Even though she was singing about relationships, it's the same thing. When you have an imposter in your presence, when you look in the mirror and you don't recognize yourself, you're saying, oh, that's not me. That's an imposter. You have to figure out how to get the imposter out of your house, out of your mind, out of your decision making. So that's one of the things I want to talk to you about today is finding out and establishing your true identity. Think about it. When you have a physical challenge, you feel ill, and you can't see, no matter how much medication you take, you can't get rid of that cough. You can't get rid of that fever. You can't get rid of that upset stomach. What do? You go to the doctor. I had to become a doctor for myself. By the way, that brings me to something that happened to me over the summer a few years ago. I went on a medical missions trip with this organization called Kenya Relief. When we were on that trip, I had one role established for me when I got there. I'm on my way there. But when I got there, I realized there was a need in the area of the hospital where they were going to be doing some examinations, some surgeries, and seeing patients to help relieve them from goiters. I don't know if you know what goiters are, but they're really big abscesses that grow out of your different parts of your body. It could be your neck, your chest, your arm, your jaw, your face. And so they needed help in the emergency room. Boy, I did something that they wouldn't allow in the United States. I don't care what type of emergency we were having. I had to learn how to be a sterile technician working in an operating room in a matter of hours. I mean, I took a 1 hour training course that was faster than anything you can imagine. Rosetta Stone couldn't teach a course as fast as I had to learn how to become a stereotech. But along that journey, it gave me a wealth of information and a wealth of appreciation, not only for what we have here in the United States, but in how to care for other people in a time of need. When you don't have time to panic or really give a lot of thought to what you're gonna do, you just do it. And that's the same thing you have to do when you're figuring out your identity. We're at a point in time now where you need some emergency assistance. And the only help that you have right now is you, and you having to figure it out. So, in that moment, as I went through the process of figuring out and learning what to do in certain situations and how to avoid invading the sterile field in the surgical room, I began to really value my own life and value the people who I loved and the people who I was there to help. So, as you continue to find out your identity, as I had to work on my identity, I want you to really stop thinking, start moving, start acting. Because there is a you inside of you that you're not connecting with. If you're struggling with maybe your job, maybe your relationship, or just everyday life, or if you have some type of addiction that you're dealing with that you need to get rid of and you need to find a way out of, you have to look really deep to find out who you are and and what your identity is. When I arrived back to the States from my trip in Kenya, I really began to do some soul searching. I really wanted to get on a path that would result in some positive things happening in my life. And I really wanted to focus on service and how I could help other people. So I went back to the roots of my foundation. Now, the roots of my foundation was in the church. And so I began to really start to meditate and start to seek God for what it is He was calling me to do and how I was going to accomplish what I believe He was calling me to do. Now, I know, for some reason, I don't know why, soon as the word God or the name God comes up, people start to, I'm not really that spiritual. I'm not really, into religion, and I'm not really into that. They seem to think that because people will have faith in God and that's where we put our trust, is that we're judgmental. I mean, of course, it's always going to be a group of people who are, but in our circle, in this room that you're in right now, on this Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, it's a non-judgmental place. I'm just simply sharing with you how I found my identity. How you choose to find yours, what spiritual source you use, if any at all, that's up to you, because we all have to make our own choices. I'm simply just giving you what I use, what tool I use to get to a place that I can find myself in a comfortable place that I was no longer subjected and held hostage by the imposter that I was trying to live with, the imitator. I need to operate within myself and my success and feel comfortable with the success that I was having. But that was the foundation of the Bible. So I immediately went back to that. I immediately started finding more and more success. Let's say that your journey to your success and your finding out your true identity is not so much a spiritual one, that you can't connect with that source as of yet. Let me give you a tool that you can, let's see how this works for you. I want you to go to the dictionary. I want you to find 5 character traits that you find in the dictionary that you can identify with, that you feel will make you the best person that you possibly can be, and that will lead you to put you into a position that you feel comfortable with, that you can find your success. And I want you to, every day, take those 5 terms, names, whatever it is that you find in that place, and I want you to write them down. I want you to speak them into your life. I want you to take hold of them, because they say it takes at least 21 days for anything that you do to become a habit, and 4 seasons before it becomes permanently a fixture in your life. And I want you to focus on those things until you can go and look in the mirror every day. You go and see yourself and see those 5 things manifest in your behavior, in your character, in your actions, in your speech, in your thoughts. And then I want you to make sure you go to whatever site that you see my post on. I want you to comment and tell me what your experience is, and share with everyone else that's viewing this post as well. Because it's not about us or just about me. It's about you. It's about our community. It's about everybody that we're involved with. Remember, we're always an inspiration for someone else. One for ourselves first. We inspire ourselves first. We move ourselves first. Then we can move other people. So I want you to try that. And I want you to give it some time. And I want you, when things try to come against you, and when those things come up and you say, oh, I don't feel like it today. I'm having a rough day. That's the time when you need to do it the most. That's the time when you really need to dig deep and dig inside, and you utilize those 5 traits and those 5 statements and those 5 things that you come up with that you've identified with, that make you feel and make you see all the good and goodness that you have within you that you can actually give to someone else. Now, let me give you a warning. Well, I should make you aware of something. As you start this process and you find out who the true you is, and you start establishing your identity, you may have some relationship changes that take place in your life. Some of those same people that you were tolerant of, and who was tolerant of you, and that you really enjoyed being around, those people might change in your life. But they're only going to change for the better. Because all those people that are around you that have your best interest at heart and that are going the same direction you're going, they're going to cling on to you, because once they see you change, they see you blossoming, they see you blooming, they're going to want to know what happened, what brought on this change, how did you get to this place? And then you're going to have to share it. And once you share it, I guarantee you, they're going to want a piece of it and a part of it, and they're going to start using the same tools. They're going to find out who they are, and then they're going to start to realize that maybe I have an identity crisis. They're going to want to know how to find their true identity. And because of you, because of the example you set, voila, you've accomplished your goal. Now you're adding value to your community, adding value to your family. I look forward to hearing back from your comments about what takes place and how you approach this conversation. Last but not least, now as we go on this journey, I want you to remember, we're not trying to put ourselves above another person or make other people feel like they're beneath us. This is about growth. This is about you and me taking a position of growth and repositioning ourselves. And we are more than happy and excited to bring everybody with us that we can. Anytime we're lifting ourselves up, we don't have that crab in a pot syndrome where the water is boiling, the crab's trying to get out, and one crab is pulling the other crab down, trying to make sure he gets out. No, we want to take everybody with us. As we go up, we want everybody to go up. That's how we have success in our society. Not someone raising above someone else to say, I'm above you. No, it's about a team. It's about a community of us taking every person and uplifting everyone that we can along our journey to finding and identifying ourselves. Listen, share, post. See you next time.